Greetings, comrade. Welcome to another episode of War HOGG Words of Wisdom with Rick and Duke. So you're going to say, why am I saying greetings, comrade? Well, because with the arrest of two KGB agents in Hawaii a couple weeks ago, I'm going to title this episode, The Soviet Union is Alive and Well. So real quick, guys, appreciate your time for tuning in. Your most precious commodity. Greatly appreciated. Do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a rating, review, all that other good stuff. Just help us get this algorithm going, because let me tell you this. When I tell you that freedoms are being oppressed, man, without a doubt, so we're seeing stuff, you post certain things, even on a podcast side. We mentioned, about HR 1808, which is the assault weapons ban of 2022, and bam, things start falling off. So really, if you're listening, I appreciate your support. Do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, leave us a rating, review, tell your friends, tell your family, all the platforms you listen to, do all that stuff just to help us out, because we are totally battling technology at this point. With freedom being oppressed, this episode being about these KGB spies here a little bit, nothing better than saying we're coming to you live from, I guess, Red Square and the Kremlin. I don't know, something crazy. But anyway, make sure you guys go check out warhogg.com, kellydefense.com. Make sure you sign up for our newsletters. For those of you that got my newsletter, again, technology debunked, and I don't know, we got some dramas there. So I know some of you guys are telling me you can't open it. The link's dead. Again, it's just constant AI battles, man. Technology is supposed to be here to help us, but you know what? When you're trying to run a small business, it seems like it's more of a hindrance. But anyway, you can check us out on patreon.com/on the range podcasts, and of course the OTR training on demand. Go over to Vimeo, Amazon, Fire TV, all that other good stuff. Check us out there as well. Don't forget, check out our industry partners, huge savings there. You can go to Aimpoint, use code WARHOGG5, save you 5% there. Brute Force, OTR 15. OTR 15 is good for like brute force. I think Alpha Elite Performance, Kill Cliff, OTR 10 for hoist. I mean, bunch of different companies on there. Make sure you go to warhogg.com or kellydefense.com. Check out those industry partners and get all that stuff. So let's kind of jump into the meat of this whole thing. The Soviet Union, yes, fell in 1990, if you want, or 1991, excuse me, if you want to say the Iron Curtain dropped. However, the rumor on the street is the KGB infiltrated, if you want to say, sleeper agents, or what some of us here in the U.S. called illegals, that were basically acting as American citizens on behalf of the Soviet Union. Now let's think about it. 1991. It's a long time for the Soviets to be gone. Currently, you have the Russian Federation, who Vladimir Putin is in charge. Oh, yeah. Used to be a KGB agent in the Soviet Union. One could ask, why is he looking to invade into Ukraine? Maybe just trying to get the band back together. So back in the day in the Soviet Union, Ukraine was the breadbasket of the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. For those of you who might have forgot your history there. But why is this important? Because we have to think about what were the Soviets' long-term plans to infiltrate Soviet agents into the U.S., and that blatantly been told by KGB defectors, get them into the university systems, get that whole socialist communist ideology in there, and just kind of wait for the U.S. to unravel. Because again, you start causing divides, which we have, and you got to sit there and go, yeah, man, the Soviet Union's still alive and well, contrary to popular belief. Teddy Roosevelt said back in the early 1900s, as soon as you start putting something in front of the title American, you already start causing division. And I just ask you guys to think about it. Why can't we just all be Americans? Why do we have to have all these different subsets of Americans? Why can't we just take pride in who we are as American citizens and understand, let's help each other out? Because let's be an honest broker, between Russia and China, and again, Granted, Russia is not a communist country anymore. They used to be. China very much is still a communist country. Yet people want to sit there and go, oh, they're our friends. No, they're not. The Chinese are sitting there attacking us cyberly all the time. What are we doing about it? Nothing. With the arrest of these two former KGB agents in Hawaii, you got to ask yourself, how many more are still floating around out there? TikTok, which is, back in the day had ties to China, which supposedly was bought by a U.S. company. Don't know all the demographics behind it, but they were caught pushing pro-Chinese propaganda on there. So using this social media tool to pump propaganda. And then you got to sit there and go, how is it that we as Americans who live in the greatest country in the world enjoy the best freedoms there are, think that a socialist society is the way to do business? And everyone's getting their feelings hurt and everyone's divided and you got to be on this side or that side or yada, yada, yada. And I sit there and go, man, the Soviets pulled it off. Granted, the Soviet Union might have fell, but their long-term plan, man, Putin's sitting there laughing every single day. And I just sit there and go, America, come on, man. You need to wake up. If you can't, if you don't understand your history, you don't understand what's going on. And to think that there are still not Soviet agents in this country. So the couple there, they were born, I believe my memory serves me right, back in 55. Of course, we can't figure out what their real names are. Somehow when the FBI, and again, we'll just leave it at that. We'll just say this. Whenever the law enforcement agency conducted or served the warrant at their residence, they came up, they found those pictures of them in their KGB outfits. And one could sit there and go, hey, it was dress up, it was this. Okay, cool. But then when you start finding intelligence gathering tools, documents, and things that, why would a person need invisible ink? Why are we sitting there having coded messages? Are they paranoid or are they actually KGB agents reporting back to Putin and the Russian Federation? You got to think about it, right? So I think it was back in 2011, 2012, if I remember right. The Fox TV channel had a show called The Americans, and it was just that, based in the 80s. Russian couple, infilled into the U.S., assumed identities, start businesses. Of course, they're up around the D.C. area. And what are they doing? They're collecting intelligence. So is it far off? And you think back 2010, I think it was, big bust of, I think it was 10 Soviet agents, if I remember right. But yeah, I mean, let's think about it. Our enemies want our information. Our enemies want to cause harm to us. And if you guys think for 1 minute that either Russia or China is our friends, you've absolutely lost your minds. They would want nothing more to see our demise. So is it hard to believe there are still these quote unquote sleeper agents or illegals or KGB agents or whatever you wish to call them here in the United States? I don't think it's a far cry at all. Then you got to sit there and go, if you want to look at this whole urban legend and everything else, then you've got, and again, what's the truth to this? I don't know. So take it for a grain of salt. But there was, speculation that potentially these sleeper agents had man-portable nukes that were cached around the United States at certain places. Is that far from the truth? I mean, we had man-portables. You don't think they stole that technology somewhere along the way or figured something out? I don't know. Let's think about it. We still got an atomic weapon in North Carolina dirt somewhere. Never was recovered from the 60s. So again, is it hard to believe this thing couldn't be cached somewhere? I don't know. Just, again, not confirmed, but just that old classic urban legend floating around there. But it just goes to show that this day and age, we're sitting there tearing ourselves apart as a country, and we seem to forget the Cold War is still going on. Unbeknownst, not as prolific as it was, back, if you want to say, from the 50s up to the 90s. But it is still going on today, 100%. So I just ask my fellow Americans, here's the thing, be vigilant, be aware. So these people here assumed dead kids' names. I think it was back in 87. If I remember right, the kids died in the 60s. So the male, and I forget his name because I don't really know his real name. I don't think anyone will here for a bit, but he winds up, yes, he was born in 55, gets a somewhere in the 60s dead child's ID, assumes that surname, and then joins the Coast Guard when he's actually 39, but his records show he's 27. Does 20 plus years there, gets a secret clearance. So, I mean, these guys walked in, and I think, if I recollect correctly, if I remember reading the article, they supposedly got to the U.S. in 87. If my memory serves me correct, but don't quote me on that. But the point being is, they were still injected when the USSR or Soviet Union was still in power. So who do you think they're reporting back to? So I'm sure they had some glitches and things like that. But again, Vladimir Putin, former KGB agent, you don't think he knew exactly where these people were at? You don't think he knew exactly where this network was at? And you say, hey, man, keep business as usual. 100% he did. So I bring all that up because we are in an absolute whirlwind as a country. We are so divided. We're so, fighting over this, fighting over that. What we need to fight over is, how about our security and safety? Our southern border is porous like Swiss cheese. God knows how many people are just pouring in. You can look at, again, going back to Cold War era, it's funny how the Soviets had this huge tower in Tijuana right there looking into San Diego. And if you think about it, it's kind of right there on the side where they could get right into Coronado. You don't think that thing was spying on us? Heck yeah, it was. All these people coming across, who are they? How many are actually terrorists? How many actually are bringing things over? China's pumping in more fentanyl than you can shake a stick at. Nobody's batting an eye. Nobody's doing nothing. It's super easy, man. And say what you want, but Trump summed it up, man. Put the Chinese in check. And it's this easy. Get your house straight, get our manufacturing back, and tell them cats over there, hey, man, you do one more thing to violate whatever. We catch one more piece of fentanyl coming in this place, dude, you're done. You will not import another thing. And I got it. You guys are going to go, well, we owe them all this money. Cool. Yeah, we do. But trust me, they will not. If we sit there and go, you will not import another item into this country, dude, they're done. They will stop going. Will it turn a whirlwind when people hoop and holler and scream? Yep. But I think we need to do that anyway. You think about it. We're paying crazy money for minimum wage stuff. All right. Why don't we get the minimum wage back to minimum wage? If you want to make crazy money, go into manufacturing. Bring U.S. manufacturing back here, back to the United States. So that, when another China virus or something like that hits, it don't matter because you got your supply trains already here. You're not relying on to unload the boats and everything else. And then how is it that we're hamstrung by the Soviets and everybody else for power and everything else? I mean, it's just, it blows me away, the current state we're in. But why do I bring all this up? Because yes, you, my fellow Americans, you've got the duty to vote here in the midterms. Let's get some people that's going to represent you into those political offices. Let's get those people that's going to represent you in your beliefs and where you think we should be at. Seal off our southern border, man. Shut that thing down. You want to come in this country? There's a process to get there. It's just not willy-nilly cross over. Go into some of these other countries, make an illegal crossing, find out what happens to you. You know what? Why don't we try this? Why don't you go to China, illegally try to enter there? What do you think's going to happen to you? You'll be going away going, man. Where's so-and-so? Who cares? Gone. Go make an illegal entry into Russia. See what happens to you. Gone. So, again, guys, we need to stop the madness. We need to sit there and make sure we get the right people in office. And don't bat an eye for a minute and think that the Soviets, they faded away. Because I'm here to tell you they haven't. They're alive and well. They're still floating in this country. They're still spying on us. And you know what? They want the demise of the United States of America. So I would just tell you this. Let's get some strong leadership up there in D.C. Let's minimize this crazy government we got going on because we don't need all these bodies. And let's get back to we the people. So do your due diligence as a citizen. Make sure you get out there and vote. Let's get some change so that we can make some things happen in this great country of ours. So in closing, guys, just do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, rating, review, all that other good stuff. Just help us beat this algorithm, man. Facebook has denied, again, the in honor of Duco loop leash. They changed their story. I forget what it violated now. Before it was firearms, ammunition, explosives. Now it's something else. It's like it's a dog leash. I don't know what part of the English language these people don't get. Zuck, supposedly Harvard educated, but yeah, the people he's got working for him or whatever AI buttons he's hitting, it's just complete manipulation. So I know I keep harping on it. I harp on that because if you guys understand, hopefully you pass the word. Hopefully people, that's how we beat this thing, right? Unfortunately, ratings, reviews, listens, watches, all that other good stuff, whether it's, via the podcast, audio, via, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, it's just trying to beat them at their own game. And that's all we can do is just try. It's the tool we use to market. So, again, greatly appreciate your support. Greatly appreciate, most of all, your time, your most precious commodity to tune in. And don't forget, here's your accountability check. Did you dry fire today? Did you get your workout in? What are you grateful for? So everything's not bad. You woke up on this side of the dirt. Trust me, it is a great day. Just make sure you guys are maximizing it. And look for that good act of kindness to do. Hold the door for somebody, whatever. I mean, numerous different things you can do. But again, if you're listening to my voice and you haven't done that stuff, it's not too late. You can get her done. So again, guys, 1% better every single day. Thank you for your time. Make sure you guys check out warhogg.com, kellydefense.com. And always in closing, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless our troops. And God bless the United States of America. Rick and Duco out.